SportsCast with Jeremy Buckelew is proud to announce we are now officially powered by TEC. If their fiber optic internet service can handle everything we throw at it here in the studio, from videos to calls and live streams, you better believe they can handle your home or business too. If speed, stability, and service is important to you, you can count on TEC. Thanks, TEC. Now let's get to the show.
Hey folks, happy Sunday and welcome back. It's been a 2-week break for us here at SportsCast. Glad to be back on the air tonight and got a good show for you. It's actually our 1-year anniversary. We started SportsCast back on, I think, April 5th or 6th last year. I think it was April 5th. And so we're a year into this thing and it's going pretty well and we're having fun and enjoying it. And so just thought we'd do a fun 1-year anniversary show tonight. So I got some favorite guys on here to just talk about whatever. First, do want to say thank you to our sponsors, as always, to the Peddler. They are still in circulation all throughout West Tennessee in 9 counties, I believe, and have been that way for 40 years. And so if you have a classified that you need placed for 20 words or less, call them up at the Peddler Advantage. They can get you taken care of. You can also find all of Kill Media's show promos for the week in the Peddler Advantage each and every week. And so you find Mike Weatherford's show, the Tennessee Informer, and what we've got coming up here on SportsCast each and every week in the Peddler. So we thank them for their support and help getting the word out. Don't forget, we are simulcasting on both Facebook and YouTube. And so you can find us either place. Just go to myparistv.com to get more information about, again, not only our show, but the Mike Weatherford show, Tennessee Informer, and everything that Kill Media's got going on. Can be found at myparistv.com. And also want to say thank you to TEC for the high-speed fiber optic internet that outfits our studio. Said about a month ago or two that we've got TEC at home now, and I don't think it has gone out a single time that we've had it, which is a huge improvement on what we used to have. And so if you're looking for an internet provider, give the folks at TEC a call, and they will get you taken care of. If they're not in your area yet, just be patient. They're coming, and they'll eventually get there. And so, as I said, 1 year into SportsCast, going to talk about some fun memories of the show, and then just some general conversation of what all has gone on locally, nationally, just whatever we can think to talk about. I got some guests here with me. Of course, as always, not really a guest, but always my right hand that sits on my left for whatever reason. But Kenna is here with us, as always. Glad to have her back here in the studio. I'm trying to get it pulled up here, but whatever. I won't worry about it right now. We'll do that later. Had a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
It is good to be back. What'd you do in the 2 weeks that we took off?
A lot of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
School, tennis. Yeah, church.
That's a lot.
Busy.
Always something going on.
Yeah. Like
I said, we'll talk about sports, spring sports here and everything we've had going on lately in just a second. But we'll go ahead and introduce everybody else. Got Coach Dylan Poole with us from the Henry County boys soccer, Lady Patriot basketball. Just had a basketball banquet today, my understanding. Looking back on a district championship, region championship. You got your shirt on. Let's talk about back-to-back district champions, and so looking good. Yeah, show the fine folks at home the Henry County Lady Patriot back-to-back district championship shirts. Right
there.
So
yeah, Coach Kerr hooked us up at the banquet today, so nice. I had to rock it today. So
yeah, don't blame you. Got the region championship on there as well, and
first time in a long time with a region championship there.
Yeah,
so.
like first time since 2001 or something like that. I mean, it's been a long time. I don't remember the exact date.
At the banquet, Coach Kerr, he said the statistician corrected it. Apparently, they didn't win the region in 2001.
Okay.
So it's been like 35 years.
Oh, wow.
So even longer than what we were thinking.
Always leave it up to the statistician to call me like, that's not right. But it happens. Glad to have you with us. And again, just a couple of my favorite guests that we have on from time to time, just because like I said, we just sit around and talk sports. So Coach Poole's one of those guys. Also, Coach Cordon Hight with the Inman Bulldogs, basketball, baseball, everything else you got going on, right?
All right.
Yeah. So he's with us. And then a special surprise guest just, called him up and said, hey, come be on the show. And he's like, okay, which I always appreciate. Mr. Will Jelks here with us tonight. Always good for conversation. And like I said, Will and I used to work together, and he was my go-to for sports talk at the office. Reese and I talk quite a bit about sports, but not as in-depth as me and you used to get into. Okay. So, but like I said, Reese has come along, and so you trained him well.
I tried.
And, you did a great job. So he says he always goes back and listens to the show on Monday. So we'll test that theory if he comes into my office tomorrow and is like, hey, I saw the show. And
okay.
So we'll see. But appreciate all y'all being here. We're going to start the show just like we do or have for a year now, and that is the best thing you've seen this week. So who wants to go first?
Should it be the best thing we've seen this year since it's the year anniversary?
It can be. Sure. Yeah, if you want to do the best thing you've seen this year, go for it. I mean, absolutely.
Well, see, now I made that decision, and now I'm going to go for a second.
You got to do
You
it.
could get in a lot of trouble right here.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
Right. No, man, this since the last, since you started the show, the year since then has been awesome. And I guess mine's going to have to be just my kids growing, getting a year older, and how they're changing and how I'm getting to enjoy that. I know I said something about Cordon last time, but Collins, my middle one, she is I don't really know how to explain her. She's my middle child, and that's if anybody understands that, she's something else. But she's definitely starting to get out of her terrible threes, twos, ones, whatever you want to call it. She's been bad for 3 years. That's just about the truth. So
I wish I could say they get better, but
love her to death, but no, she's the problem child. And then Crosser is all over the house tearing everything up now, and he wasn't walking this time last year, so it's pretty cool just to see them grow and what they're doing. So been a very blessed year. And if I'm talking about my week, seeing Jordan Walker getting it hot for the Cardinals has probably been my favorite thing this week. Leading the league in home runs, hit a 7th one today.
Nice.
So excited for the future for the Cardinals and their young team. So.
Will may take exception to that as a Cubs fan.
That's okay.
They've been excited for the future for 10 years.
You were talking about your kids, and you mentioned their names. They are
Cordon, Collins, and Crosser.
One of my favorite clips, one of the first clips we did was from like our third show talking about the fact that Kenna, when she was in 7th grade, tried to name one of your kids. I guess at that point it would have been
Cordon at the time.
Cordon.
So the first one.
No, it wasn't even a kid.
Well, I wasn't even married yet. Was I married?
No, you met working that year, and so.
Oh, you was already naming our kids. I couldn't.
Yeah.
They were just planning ahead, is what it was. I guess like she was planning for you on how to name a kid.
Yes, yeah, and I told her that it was going to start with a C. We were going to do all C names, and that was like the thing that I didn't even know if it was going to happen or not, but I just wanted to do it. So it was you and Tiara
and Ella and Fejana.
Yes, yeah. Decided to get in a little powwow.
We got a little clip here of talking about it, I think. Okay, so just wanted you to know. There's audio of it. They're working on it in the back. Listen, I'm glad those guys are back there to take care of this because I would not have the slightest clue on what to do to get it. And so they're working on it. But anyway, Kenna thought that it would be a fun. Here we go. You and Cole. Okay, so just wanted you to know, back years ago when Kenna was in Coach Hight's class, her and some others tried to get Coach Hight to name their firstborn Kefton. Okay, Kefton. And so the name Kefton is still available if you want it.
So where did that come from?
So they knew that we were going to name all of our kids with C's,
right?
And so I let them try to come up with a name. That was And that was what they came up with. It was like her and Tiara and a couple other girls. They were so excited, and I didn't know how to crush their dreams.
How do you crush the spirit of
I mean,
you know?
a bunch of 7th grade girls. Like, you can't.
Captain, we'll table it. We'll table it.
It's just something to think about. So I don't think Cole named his child Kefton either, because that was right before they had their baby, I think.
Yeah.
The Orion. And so, anyway, just fun little memory from about a year ago when y'all were first on talking about baseball and basketball and all that. But is your oldest old enough to be playing in T-ball or anything like that yet?
Yeah, he is, but he didn't want to play T-ball.
Yeah.
He's very like dead set on basketball right now. It's all he likes to do. And then T-ball signups came and went, and now he wants to go hit every day outside. And I was like, dude, why did you not want to play T-ball? So I think next year he'll do it. Sure. It's just he wasn't interested at the time, and he's seeing kids do it now, and he's like, oh, I wish I would have done it. So you know how that works.
I know how it works. Good stuff. Who's next? Best thing you saw this week or this year, whatever.
Well, I had one in my head. It's not from this week, but it's from 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
A local kid doing some good things on the big stage. Charlie Davis, I don't know if y'all saw us 2 weeks ago. Belmont played Vanderbilt.
Okay.
And, Vanderbilt beat Belmont, but Charlie went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles.
Nice.
He's he scored 2 of Belmont's 3 runs. 2 of those 3 runs Belmont scored were him. So it was awesome to see. His team didn't do as well as they would have liked, but it was awesome to see a local kid doing some good stuff on the big stage.
Always, you're right. Absolutely love to see it, and always knew that Charlie was going to be special. I think because I remember we lived in Dixon. I think a lot of folks know that we lived in Dixon for like 6 years, and so a couple years ago, I think it was Charlie's senior year. As a matter of fact, we were going back and forth with Dixon in the district championship, and it's a best of 3 game series, I think. And so, like, I don't remember the exact way it played out. I just remember that Charlie pretty much single-handedly destroyed Dixon that year because I was talking to a friend of ours who was here the second night watching the game and was like, man, if it wasn't for that Davis kid, we would have won. And so it's awesome, as you said, to always see the local kids doing great. And that's exciting. I'll have to try to go back and find those clips of Charlie.
It was on the SEC Network or ESPN 2, something like that. The game was. It was a good game.
That's awesome. Yeah. At least I'd love to see it. Next.
I guess I got 2 things. Of course, the banquet today was great, for girls basketball. Like I said, you got 3 seniors you're graduating. You got Olivia Kendall, Kaya Moore, and Breeley Pierpoint. Coach Kurt saying how many of their stats were losing. It was something like over 1,000 points, 800 rebounds, 700 assists, and stuff like that. So I was glad they got some recognition, and it's good to celebrate them. And then with the soccer team, we had a senior night. And that was the most smooth senior night ever. Because it was 9-0 at halftime. We did senior night and we went home.
It was a short night. Yeah. That was a short night. Listen, I was not expecting that. Yeah. But just because, I don't know if y'all are like this or not, but I'll look at a team and I'll kind of size them up as soon as they get off the bus and are walking on the field. And I look at Dyer County and was like, well, they got some size. They may be some trouble because they got some kids with some good size. They look like athletes, they whatever. It was 3-0, 11 minutes into that game, and I knew then they were in trouble.
I think their coach texted Coach Spear, and he's like, we've got like 4 players hurt, and they were all like their goalkeeper and back line, and but we had, it was great, like seeing some seniors that don't usually score get to score.
Mickey had a goal, and
I think he had 2. He almost had, I give him a hard time, he almost had 3, and he messed that one up. So.
He did actually. I went back and watched the film because on Cash's corner kick, it was really an own goal, and I couldn't tell who was, because doing the PA, I'm trying to do a good job up there and recognizing the kids when they score and whatnot, which is a lot harder than you would think it is on a soccer game. But Cash kicks the corner, kid tries to head it from Dyer County, ends up heading it backwards into the net. and Mickey was the closest one to it, and so he got credit for that goal, I believe, is how it works. But yeah, I know, they were trying. You could tell they were trying to get Will a goal, and just that opportunity never presented itself to where he had a good shot. But yeah, it was a fun game to be a part of. Over quickly.
Yeah, well, with senior nights, people can be worried about everything except playing good, but I mean, we had technically 11 seniors, 9 of them who weren't hurt, and all of them were locked in and executed and got goals. So it was beautiful to watch.
Will tell you, we used to talk about it all the time, that on, in football season, on senior night, we'd always say, well, how do you think it's going to go down? And my answer is always, it's senior night. I'm always scared to death of how we're going to come out and play on senior night, because their minds are always somewhere else, it seems, and it takes us like a quarter to get going. Not the case this past Friday night, which was good. And then you talk about basketball with Olivia. She signed this week, going to play basketball and soccer at Dyersburg State. Mm-hmm. And so
that's pretty good. Well, them 3 seniors, I think they're all going to be college athletes. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think Kaya's in Jackson State. Nice. I don't know if that's she hasn't signed yet, but so
of course Breeley's going to Tennessee Tech to play softball. So awesome, yeah, good stuff. What's yours, young lady?
Mine's gonna be the Michigan Wolverines.
Okay.
Winning the.
So we'll share one because mine was the same.
Yeah, and then I was also gonna say that. Tennis beat Northwest this week. That is the biggest accomplishment because we already beat them. What?
I'm just saying, be nice.
I am being nice. We already beat them once in the season, but it was super close. I think it was like 5-4. And then they came to our place Tuesday night, and there was some drama, as there always is. But we beat them 7-2. And so it just felt very accomplishing for our girls. And Channing Michael, I'm so proud of her always because her mental game is the best on the team. She will be down. There was one match that she was down 0-5 and came back and won. And that's how she is with every match. And tennis is just so mental that the fact that she can calm herself down when she's not playing good and come back and win. And that's what she did for really the team against Northwest. She was struggling a little bit, but and I give her credit for that win.
Y'all need to put in your mind the biggest, most hated rivalry you have, or you think Henry County has, and multiply it by about 10, and that's the Northwest Henry County tennis rivalry. Believe it or not,
it's crazy. You wouldn't think, because they're.
We don't talk about it on air. No. It's not an on-air conversation because I don't want to get sued.
Yeah,
but they are. Let's just say in tennis, you have to have some integrity, and I'll leave it at that for right now. And then we'll talk about it off.
And you wouldn't think with a tennis match that it's gonna get heated, but
it gets heated every year, and has since she played.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it has been just we were one time. I tell you how heated it gets. We were at an Inman soccer game because they were playing Northwest, and we were like, we'll go watch soccer, and then we'll come and watch her play her senior year. And she called us at the soccer game and said, "Dad, you need to get over here. There's a problem. You need to get here." And so we left the soccer game to go to tennis.
I'm not saying that I have zero fault. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I do have a bit of an attitude problem.
No.
So I'm not saying that it was no fault on my end, but I didn't start it.
You're going to tell me about this later. We don't have time. I'm very interested.
Mine goes along with Kenna and Michigan. I didn't pick them to win the national championship. Kenna did. She destroyed us all in the bracket challenge at work by 40 points after picking Michigan to win. But it's because we have a personal connection with the Michigan Wolverines. And so, Kevin, you can throw some of those pictures up. Here is Kenna and Case and Namari. Namari Burnett, this is when he was playing at Alabama, but he is number 4 on Michigan. They're starting, I guess, shooting guard technically. But this was when he played at Alabama. He was injured, but went to see him at Alabama. Cycle through those, Kevin, because here he is at Ole Miss when he played for Alabama. You get the age progression from Case I love it. I mean, that kid just grew up in a hurry. But here is Kenna and a junior Namari Burnett at Mustang Madness in Paducah. And so we've talked on the time or on the show before about how we used to go to these showcases and saw some of the best talent from across the United States playing basketball on this excuse me, on this prolific prep team. Not this one, his senior year. It was Namari, it was Jalen Green, it was Coleman Hawkins,
Jordan
Pope, and Saba. I can't remember Saba's last name, but he played at Georgia Tech. Frank played at Georgia. I don't remember Frank's last name, but they were all on that prolific prep team. And so just by dumb luck one year, we sat next to Namari's parents and got just to talking to his dad and kind of built a relationship. And then, like I said, every year during Mustang Madness and Marshall County Hoop Fest, they were there. We would go. We'd sit and talk, and then
we lucked out one year because the tournament was in Marshall County, and so we went for we were there for like a week straight, and like the only people in the gym, and so
because they played Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and so we would go, and like I said, like a handful of people. My favorite story is you hear all the time about so and so is such a good guy, and I'm not saying they're not. I just one that we root for Namari because he really is a good guy. Kevin, can you put that middle picture back up of Ole Miss? So the funny story about this one is we were at this ball game, okay, and we knew that Alabama and Ole Miss were playing. This was like a Wednesday night, and we knew that Namari was going to be there, and Cade was at school at Ole Miss, and so let's go watch the ball game or whatever. So I text Namari or messaged him on Instagram. I was like, hey man, we're going to be at the ball game because we keep up in touch over the years we had. And so I messaged him like, hey man, we're going to be at the ball game. Be great if we could see you, but if not, I understand, just looking forward to seeing you because he was injured and didn't get to play. But so we went to the game. Like there was an Alabama student section at the Ole Miss game that got his attention, and like Ken was waving at him. He waved back at Ken or whatever, which if you know was a big deal. But so we're leaving. And we left the building. We left the building
because we had waited for him and he hadn't come out.
Yeah,
and so we left and we were like, it's okay.
We had talked to Cade and whatnot. And we were leaving and we're walking actually in front of the football stadium, and my phone dings, and it was Namari, and he's like, "Hey, if y'all haven't left yet, I'd love to get to see you." And so we went back and went down on the floor and talked to him for probably 10, 15 minutes and took this picture. And I get tickled because Case. Here in this picture, you can see how happy he is, and we were leaving.
No, this is not funny.
It is hilarious. I think it's hilarious. So we're leaving, and you got to keep in mind that this whole time, Kenna is dating Luke. Okay,
like had been dating like over a year at this point. We had been dating. Yeah. He was at our house all the time.
Kenna and Luke are a couple, and Case is like, man, that was so cool. It's not every day you get to sit and talk to like a 5-star athlete. We're like, hey.
I was like, there's one in your house every night. Like what? But it's
like every day you get to talk to a 5-star athlete. And so anyway, but we were excited for Namari, and I texted his dad after they won the championship. I texted Namari and heard back from both of them. So very cool to see him win a national championship, and can't wait to see what's next for him. So best thing I saw this week. So. All right. Well, guys, we got what y'all want to talk about? We've got all kinds of stuff that we can discuss. Of course, today was Masters Sunday. Rory McIlroy goes back to back. And so I had kind of thrown it out there in a text. So who here are golfers? I play golf. I don't know that I can call myself a golfer, but
I try.
That's about the best I can do is try. I'm so good at golf, like I don't have to wear sunscreen because I spend more time in the I need tick and repellent, but I don't need sunscreen when I'm playing golf because I'm in the woods more. I'm one of those guys that I'll start off with one Titleist and end up with 30 by the time the round's over because I've been in the woods the whole time trying to find my ball and luckily come across some more, but. I don't think I could make a par at Augusta National. I've never been. Has anybody ever been? You've been, Will? I know that.
I've been putting in for the draw, 6-8 years now, and I just
same. I always get the emails like, "I'm sorry, you were not selected for tickets this year." So, Coach Poole, are you a golfer?
I coach golf at Huntington. because the principal said, "Hey, you're the new golf coach." It's like my second year teaching there, and enjoyed it. But I kind of figured out how to hit it straight with the irons. But I just so busy, I don't have enough time to really play and be good or anything. So I would not par. I don't think I could par at Sullivan's and Murray, and they're a par 3 course. So I'm probably not parring any of the 18 holes there. I wouldn't say.
Coach Hight, you said you don't play, right? Like you're just got so much other.
Yeah, my wife won't let me. That's just the truth. She says it's too expensive, and I've got too many other endeavors that I spend money on, which is fair enough. I have tried to hit a golf ball one time whenever I was 18 or 19. And my buddy was like, "Hey, we're going to go to the driving range." I said, "Oh, that's kind of easy. I'm hitting the ball." I don't think I hit one single ball like in any direction that was forward.
Yeah.
I know I pulled a bunch behind me and hit the guy behind me a couple times at the driving range. He wasn't very happy, so I quit. But I had a baseball swing apparently, and apparently it doesn't go well with golf, so I don't know how that works.
You can be a great athlete, and golf will humble you, I think, quicker than any other sport you can play, maybe. Because I'm the same, like, I played baseball, and it took me forever to get to where when I hit a golf ball, it didn't go further left or right than it went straight.
Exactly what happened to me.
And so I need to get some lessons from Greg Laster out there at the country club and straighten some things out. But
from what I've heard, Miller can give you some lessons.
Is that right?
Explain, dude. Apparently, he's unbelievable from what everybody has told me. I've not gotten to see it in person, but our golf team's amazing.
Yes,
apparently.
it is.
And they don't get enough credit, but they've done awesome this year. I don't think they've lost a tournament or
wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know what they call it. They don't call it a tournament. They lost a
match.
A match. There you go. But between Miller and Steedley, I can't think of his name right now. I just call him Lil Steedley.
Yeah.
Between them two, and I know that there's another one that's good on there, and his name is escapes me at this moment. Oh Lord. But yeah, all those boys, they do such a great job. And then I know that with the girl side, they got Addie. And apparently she's like crazy.
Lights out. Probably, probably. I don't want to put pressure on anybody, obviously, but we'll probably, if she wanted to, probably could contend for some state championships in the next couple of years of golf. I'm gonna say that because I think she's that good. But
wow.
Like she went and played on the Masters course at the putt, pitch, and drive competition or something like that a couple of years ago.
Wow.
It's like a 7th grader. It's like a 6th or 7th grader, I think. And
amazing.
So somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah. So speaking of your spring sports, like you were going to baseball. How's it going?
We've had a good season. It's been a lot of fun. I know that you get tired of hearing this, and I know everybody does. We talk about this group of 8th graders being, Coach Cole and I are very close to them, and they mean a lot to us. And been coaching them since they were in 4th grade, most of them in basketball, and then had them most of them the last 3 years in baseball. So seeing this season come to fruition right now has been awesome. I think we're 14-2. I think that it's either 13-2 or 14-2. I'm not sure which one, but and it's been a great year. We've had a lot of fun. And we've got some kids that have really performed, and some kids that have surprised us a little bit,
sure.
Which you always love whenever it's positive. And heading into we got 2 more regular season games. So we got this Thursday we play Huntington, and then next Monday we play Obion County to finish up the regular season, and the district tournament will start on Tuesday.
Where will that be?
Well,
if you win,
it should be a coin flip to see where it's at this year, because we've always been like whoever gets the 1 seed can host it. Mm-hmm. So if we win the coin flip, since we split with Martin, it should be here. If not, it'll be there. So it'll be either here or Martin. Yeah. Not sure which one yet. So I'm sure we'll get that out whenever we find out. But Coach Cole's got to get on that.
Nice. 14-2 is a pretty good season to be having in middle school baseball because –
oh, yeah. You get 20 games, and we're supposed to get about 20 games. We've had some rainouts, obviously, in the spring, and we didn't get to play at the tournament we were going to play in Jackson. But yeah, no, if you can get to 20 games, it's special. Normally don't, but it's been a really fun year.
Yeah. My wife called me out on Facebook for just throwing out random facts. what I do. You know, I don't have a statistician to check me to say hey, that's not right. So if I try to be as accurate as possible. But and then Zion Kendall wanted to say hey to you guys. So he's watching. So hey Zion, appreciate it.
Love Zion.
What's up?
Do you have your uncle name picked out? Like, are you going to be Uncle Will? Or are you going to be?
I guess.
Have you even thought about it?
Have not.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, sorry. I guess that's something I need to figure out.
Will you be Wawa? Will you be?
Oh wow.
Because that's what.
Yeah, but most people just. Yeah, I don't think Will is hard to say though.
It's not. You're right.
I think that is kind of where Lolo came from.
Yeah, because I just didn't know if you had a special something.
I've not thought about that. No.
Well, you better get to thinking about it. Be here before you know it.
I know. It'll be fun stuff.
Yeah.
I need to figure that out.
So then, like your girls they're just still they're not soccering or anything like that, or are they?
No, not yet. The oldest one's I guess 3.5.
Okay.
So I guess when she's 4, she'll start doing that. Somebody did ask us if she was going to sign up for T-ball this year, but she doesn't. She's not ready for that. So I guess it's probably next fall, next spring she'll start. Okay. She seems like she likes sports, but every 3-year-old just likes running around. So
are you already like thinking ahead of like what sports dad Will going to be like?
Yes, I'm going to try to just be a good one.
Well, but here's the reason I ask is because like you may be the most laid back guy that I know, but you were also a college athlete, and so. Underneath that laid back exterior, there has got to be this drive that you played 4 years of football at SEMO. And so do you stay tempered as you think about the kids, getting ready to start this stuff?
I'll probably be pretty tempered. It probably does help that I've got girls, so they're obviously not playing football.
Sure.
Because I don't want to see a guy out there not pulling his weight on the football
Gotcha.
field. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to what they decide to do because, I played football and baseball. So, if whether they do basketball or soccer or tennis or whatever, it'll be something new for me.
Sure.
So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'll be pretty laid back.
Okay. I just didn't know. I can't see you getting like fired up and like yelling or anything like that. And so I just, when you think about it, it's like, kids change things, and you see somebody.
I don't
out
know.
there.
Will's pretty serious at times.
Is he?
Yeah.
So
Seen it before.
Check back
basketball. Yeah. Y'all soccer is going pretty well. You got. I mean, y'all got some injuries that you're dealing with. There's some key roles on that team, but overall, sitting second in the district right now. Got a big district win over Northwest the other night. Now, I was going to ask, how close was Coach Beard to putting the regular, like the varsity back in? Because, I mean, luckily, it's a sports show. We're going to talk about it. It was up 5-1, and then Northwest went on a little bit of a run and finished. It was a 6-4 final. Yeah, but they made a little run there towards the end and.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have we have a second team and then extra after that, so, I mean, we really had everybody in,
right?
At the end. And, Coach Beard was looking at the clock quite a bit.
Sure.
I think it went it was 5-1, then it was 5-2, then it was 5-3, and luckily Hunter Webb put one in to make it 6-3 with about 4 or 5 minutes left, and are like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
And they still, but
that last goal,
the fourth one was like expiring time.
Yeah.
It was a great shot. I mean,
kicked it from about 30 yards out. It rainbowed over, horn blew, it goes in the net, so it counts, and unfortunately.
They didn't have many subs. I mean, I don't think they had 22 players, so they had a few of their starters in too.
Yeah. But it's been a good season. I mean, the Smoky Mountain Cup finished second in Gatlinburg this year, which played some really, really good teams. I'll keep my commentary about what happened on Sunday to myself because it's hard to go to a region and play a bunch of teams that are from that same region with people who are supposed to be objective calling the game from that region. Probably figure out what I'm talking about. But regardless, it was a great Smoky Mountain Cup, and team looks good and excited about how it's going to play out the rest of the season.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we lost that one, and then, you know, the thing about those tournaments is, I mean, your legs are dead.
Yeah.
And we had a district game 2 days later, and we played like it, you know, against West Creek, and you know, just thought you kind of turned on the switch against Madison and got humbled again. But they were. It's been good. Adversity can bring out some good stuff if you address it and pay attention to it. And like this senior night, I'm glad they enjoyed it. But I've been really proud of guys like Thomas and Thomas Palmer and Mickey. They're like, when you're talking about dealing with adversity, you know, character and, you know, preparing for games and stuff like that, not just waltzing into games and stuff. Like, you know, sometimes you have a senior and they're just, you know, you got an attitude or senioritis and stuff, but those guys are, when we're talking to them, they're soaking it up and then they're trying to do that, you know. So I've been really proud of how they've responded.
Sure.
You know.
Got a big weekend coming up because had this scheduled last year, but didn't get to do it. I think it got rained out last year. Like it stormed the entire weekend. We were supposed to have it, but the Patriot Invitational is this weekend, and so Kevin, you got that next clip of the Patriot Invitational, yeah. So Henry County playing a lot of soccer. We'll start Friday night at 5:00, and then I think we played at 11:00 on Saturday and at 3:00 on Saturday, and so. A lot of these teams are really, really good programs, and so if you're a soccer fan, a great weekend to get out at Patriot Stadium and watch some really good soccer this week.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the game against Northeast because they're a region and their whole district's tough.
Yeah,
and that's who we play in region. So you kind of get to size yourself up against you know, a region opponent before postseason. Right. So that's at 11. We play them.
Nice. And then y'all's basketball camp. We got that. You sent me that as well. So is Will helping with this? Because are you helping with that?
I mean, I'm not coaching.
Well,
but I'm helping.
You'll be out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about the basketball skills camp y'all got coming up at Auburn Park.
All right. So the whole backstory with this, if you see the logo there, it's got Active Impact International. So last summer I got to go on a missionary trip with that, and it was basically like you take Upward Basketball, which is, you know, a local outreach, but you go to Guatemala or, you know, other countries and stuff, and so we would do skill camps and stuff during the day, and then at night we would play either like really good high school teams or semi-pro teams or, you know, teams like that who wanted like really good American competition, but each time, you know, you use your breaks to share testimony and stuff. And so we would use, if you've ever seen, I got like a rainbow bracelet on because it's like, it's the salvation bracelet. And that's what we would use, you know, because there's a big language barrier. So even if you're translating, you know, like that's a big thing. But towards the end of that week, you know, I was like, I flew 2,000 miles to do something we could do in our backyard and stuff. And so luckily, you know, Brother Trent at First Baptist, I brought it to him, and he's been super supportive. He said kind of make a committee and, you know, small group of members, and, you know, Will was one of them. And so we've been working on it since like November or so, but, you know, it's free camp, 5th through 8th grade. We would do younger, but we want to have it at Ogburn Park, and you can't lower those goals. So if you got 2nd and 3rd and 4th graders, that would be tough for them. So that 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., you know, that's going to be skill camp. We're going to have a couple of local high school players. We'll have like, you know, Annie Grace Snow, she'll be there. A couple of guys from the basketball team, Jamari Foster, stuff like that. So if you're a middle schooler and, you know, you want to get work with them, some other players that we'll have coming kind of like in the Active Impact, like Lily Key. She's a ball player from Huntingdon, and so they brought a girl team down there, and she's dominating for like Freed Hardman right now.
Nice.
So
I wasn't sure if that was the older sister or the freshman.
Well, the younger sister's coming too. Wiley's coming too.
Okay.
So, and she's a Miss Basketball finalist and state champion. So, you know, and couple other active impacts. So it's kind of like a FBC and an active impact. But at the end of the day, we don't really mind what church it is.
Sure.
We just want to have a mission outreach. The evening event, you come back, bring your fam, and it's free food, free refreshments and stuff, and the kids are just going to take those skills and play 3-on-3. Okay. And so it's not going to be a tournament or anything like that, but just get them some fun. We'll have some other activities and stuff, like might have like big bouncy house or like some cornhole, face paint and stuff like that, kind of try to turn it into a big block party.
Nice. But that's May 30th. That's I'm assuming a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, get out, support it. But 5th through 8th grade, that sounds awesome. I may have to drop in and see how that's going.
Yeah, please do. Everybody come out.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to think of it's open. Obviously, it's open for anybody. There's another basketball league that is starting up in Henry County. That's the
HC Next Gen.
The HC Next Gen. Yeah, that is for county kids, and it's what grades? Do you remember? Was it 3rd through 5th or something like that? I know that what they're trying to do is get an interest up in the county for basketball, and so. I know I had to ask Renee about it not too long ago, but I think it's like 3rd through 5th grade basketball program that's starting up as well.
Yeah. I think it's a great, a great idea. It's their first year, so they'll have some hiccups and kinks they got to work out. But, any good program, that's a challenge for Henry County, as you have 3 different schools. And so it's hard to have all of them on the same page.
Right.
So, but all the middle school coaches and even some of the high school players are helping out. And I think it's great that all of them are just trying to get fundamentals and skills and, help their middle school out.
Yeah.
So
that's my mind was crossing over the two, and they're not. Y'all's things through First Baptist, and it's one day on the 30th to come out and kind of an all-day thing.
You don't have to be good at basketball to come out.
So I'll fit right in. I will fit right in. Awesome. Well, tennis is going well.
Yeah, I think we're second in the district as well. We play Dixon to finish out our regular season this week on Tuesday. That'll be a good match for our girls. Our boys are struggling. They're all straight across the board. They're all sophomores, so we have lots of time with them, and they're getting better. You look at their scores at the beginning of the year compared to what they are now, and they're not getting just blown out. They're competing, and so
a lot of them first time they've ever played tennis
a lot of
is this year.
They started 2 weeks before the season,
and
so it's really impressive that they're out there and they try their hardest and they're trying to learn, and it's fun to watch. But our girls are doing pretty good. They,
If y'all beat Dixon when you beat Dixon on Tuesday, you said
Tuesday.
Y'all be tied. What's the tiebreaker? Because
I'm pretty sure Getty said the other day that the tiebreaker is just whoever won first. So really, they'll end up. They beat us earlier in the season. Like they were our second match, and we just hadn't had things figured out. We didn't have Annie Grace. It was still basketball, and we were missing somebody else too. And so we were down a little bit further down our line. But I think Tuesday will be a good match, and hopefully we can pull it out. And so, either way, I think we finished second in the district. And, of course, our district's only 4 people now because it's split. But we played somebody. We played Clarksville High the other day, and we competed well with them, and they're in our region. And so.
Looking up.
Yeah.
Looking up. Softball's going great. They're tied for first. And I think I was talking to Matt Dossett the other day, and I think the tiebreaker in softball, Coach Hight, you may know this with baseball, I don't know if it's the same for middle school or not, but apparently the tiebreaker in softball is run differential. And so since we and Dixon split in the regular season, when we were at Dixon, I think we won by 7 or 9 or something like that. And the other night they beat us by 4. And so we have the tiebreaker by run differential, I think is the way that it works. But
some people do runs allowed in those games. So you could do run differentials, about the same thing.
Yeah, it was even the same because we won 10-1 or 10-3 at Dixon, and they won 6-4, or something like that. And so even if it runs allowed, we'd still come out on top for that. So that's good. Baseball, I think, is in second as well right now to Dixon. Henry County and Dixon, it's just one of those classic rivalries. We, always go back and forth, but I think baseball is in second place right now in the district, so sitting in good place. They had a good weekend. It looked like I think they were playing South Gibson this weekend and finished like 2-1 or something like that. Had some good games against some good quality opponents and good showing. And so, spring sports are going well for Henry County. So Coach Summers comes in here a lot of times and will update us and does a good job. But track is going great. I saw where Zion, who's watching, I think he had a new PR in the 200 and the 100 the other day, something like that. And so I know he had a new PR in something, but I think it was 2 events. And so, Henry County just rolling right along, clicking on all cylinders. So it's good to see.
Shout out to baseball too. Their educator night. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that come into Henry County, and it's a great thing. Like, and they don't get anything from it. They're just recognizing educators. So. Yeah,
I think it's one of the favorite nights out at the ballpark is when they do that. And, I know a lot of people appreciate it and enjoy it. And that was I was out there for
last
it.
Week.
It was last week. So so one of the things that we were going to talk about after spring sports, and it kind of goes along with baseball and all that, is just for fun. Not too long ago, we were all just kind of sitting around talking about what is the best walkout song. And so I'm talking about the West Creek game the other night when they kind of put it on Henry County 5-1 in soccer. Every time their leading scorer, he's leading the district in scoring. I don't know his kid's name, but he's very fast and a phenomenal soccer player and leads the district. But every time he'd score, they'd play Seven Nation Army. And so I have erased Seven Nation Army from my playlist for soccer because of that. But I was laughing with Case, and I told him that it would be funny if, because in soccer, a lot of times when they score, they all they're running and they all run together and, kind of huddle up and do whatever. That I told Case it'd be hilarious if just one time when Cash or somebody score and they do that, I start playing like Milkshake by, like my milkshake bring, whatever.
Continue.
That's all I know of it. But that'd be hilarious, I think. Inappropriate, but hilarious. I wouldn't do it. Steve Summers would kick me out of the, drag me out of the press box, never let me back in it. But walk-up songs, what are some of the best walk-up songs, walk-out songs in y'all's mind when you think of sports? And
just on the soccer thing too, like my 3rd year at Huntington, we did Grove Street party every time we scored. But I was like, the whole team, you got to go celebrate.
Right.
Like it's, but we didn't score that much. So, but when we did, it was a Grove Street party. So
I've got that from basketball when we used to do it, and so that's always an option. Case wants to do every individual player has their goal celebration song, which would be fine. What I was telling you, with soccer, it's so hard because the scoreboard. I keep the clock, and so it's down here. The PA mic is down here, and so I got to stop the clock. Run down here, get on the PA mic, say who scored, get back to the clock before the referee blows the whistle and puts it back in play. And so it'd be tough to do, but that's what he wants to do. And I'm sure his song would be Even Flow or Alive or something, Pearl Jam. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not sure exactly what, but what would y'all say is the best song for walkout? Because I know somebody mentioned Mariano Rivera comes out to Enter Sandman from Metallica.
That would be mine. Yeah.
There was the closer, and I'm not sure where he's at now. So I think he was with the Mets though at the time. That does the trumpet song.
Yeah, it's Narco.
Yeah,
I think is the name of
by
it.
Timmy Trumpets.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. It I can't play much of it. It only lets you play 3 seconds, and then I think Facebook would shut us off. But yeah, that's a good one. I was trying to think of, so yeah, Narco is, you hear that? With that, like lights flickering and all that.
Lights flickering, yeah.
And that would be a fun one. I don't know why it didn't take forever. That's more than 3 seconds. Oh, well.
He's got to come out of the bullpen.
He's got to come out of the bullpen. Yeah. So that's
that right there.
That one's
pretty sick.
That's pretty good.
I don't know how long you get, because a lot of times baseball guys, it feels like they don't. How much they play? 5, 6 seconds.
11 seconds is what we did whenever I was doing back in high school.
So I don't know if it'd be long enough for mine, but Stranglehold by Ted Nugent.
Okay.
You can get, it's probably like 30 seconds right there at the beginning. If you can get that intro in, that full intro in there.
That'd be yours.
Yes, sir.
So would you use Enter Sandman, or would you have something else?
Yeah, I mean, Stranglehold's a great one. Timmy Trump or Narco's a great one. I just think if you're going like GOAT walkout, it's Mariano Rivera. But he's a closer, so if we're talking about batting, that's a little different.
Sure,
you know. Yeah. But Enter Sandman, it's got that heavy guitar. Listen, I mean, it's a good bat and walk-up song, too.
That's my go-to for, like, hype music. Like, I know Coach Summers has said that his is Thunderstruck, that when he hears Thunderstruck, it just gets him ready. Yeah. For me, it's Enter Sandman, because when it comes in, it starts out that real low bass, and then when it builds to the drums, and then it's just full-on guitar, like, that gets me ready to run through a wall. And I don't play football, but I'm ready to go run through a wall and tackle somebody. Yeah. And so I think Enter Sandman would be pretty close, and as far as mine goes.
If I was a really good hitter too, I think you'd have to fast forward a little bit, but Johnny Cash's "God's Gonna Cut You Down," like that would be intimidating if I'm a pitcher, like coming up to.
So if you're going country, what I've heard a bunch is that "Loud Thunder, Heavy Rain." I don't know. I can't think of who sings it right now. But it's a real deep voice. Oh, man. It's the one that, like, a bunch of major leaguers walk out to it. And I ain't going to try to sing it because I can't sing. But anyway, it's a good one. When I was in high school, I walked up to Lupe Fiasco, The Show Goes On.
Okay.
I really like that one. And then I also walked up to off of The Longest Yard, the Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah.
So I had a couple whenever I was in school I really liked, but
I've got Boom on my, because I've got a different set of playlists. I've got a halftime playlist. I've got a y'all's warm up playlist. It's got Case's Creed, and it's all Case's music that he likes, pretty much.
We need some Hispanic music. We're a soccer team.
I understand that, but I don't know where. I don't know what
Timmy
the popular
stuff. Narco,
Danzo Cordura.
Yeah,
I can't say that, but anyway, that's a good one.
But I've got that, and then from when I was doing basketball, I've got the intro music, which are like iconic intros to songs, or it's got enough of a break before the vocals start that it's just the music or whatever. And so, like, Here Comes the Boom is one of them, because you got that check, and then it comes in, and that's how it goes, But
you got the Bulls music, right?
I do have the Bulls music.
I thought you did.
I do.
It's a good one.
I don't use it a lot because kids these days are so far removed from, again, the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen starting lineups that when they hear it, it just doesn't mean anything to them, I don't think.
Which is so sad.
It is very sad. I mean, you guys are young guys. If y'all were to hear the Bulls starting lineup music, does it do anything?
It gets me so excited.
Okay. Well,
I think we played someone that used it, and I was like,
do you even know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, hey, you're talking about Dixon quite a bit. I don't know if they do it for girls, but their boys is "Wake Me Up" or whatever the name of the song is.
Who is that? It's not Paramore, is it? No, it's
from like the Daredevil movie.
Yeah.
It's like "Wake Me Up." It's like a hard rock song.
All I heard was Chris Brown.
No,
that's not it. No, what is it?
Seriously, that's not it.
That's not it.
So
That's
wake
not
me
it.
up.
Wrong
Bring Me to Life.
Bring Me to Life.
Evanescence.
There you go. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's a
I
good
wouldn't
one.
choose that for basketball,
but
it goes hard. It's unique.
It is.
It
is.
No, talking about you playing Case's music the other day, we were playing Northwest when soccer was,
that's a funny story.
and this mom was sitting there, and he started his intro music. She's like, "Are they playing? What are they playing over there?" And I turned around and I said, "There's no telling. There's some weirdo over there that does it." And she goes, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's playing whatever his son wants him to play."
Go ahead.
No, that was it.
I don't think kids today appreciate good music. That's
no. This was an adult.
I listen, but like I know that like all the time, like the stuff that I try to play, like iconic anthem rocks. You know what I mean? Like, Don't Stop Believing, Thunderstruck. See, like I'm just too old school, I guess.
To be fair, you couldn't really hear the song. You can't hear the song from the tennis. You can just hear them. Like she didn't know
what it was.
Yeah, but she was just like she thought she heard a noise, and then she was like, "Is that like heavy metal?"
I mean, those are really good songs, but there's definitely a disconnect from the kids now.
Yeah, but I don't know. But here's the problem, and I'll say this. For both of you, I guess. I don't mean ugly. That sounded worse than
He's getting on to you.
I'm getting no.
All right,
not.
Dad, listen.
Here was always the problem. Yeah, my dad crash out's fixing to happen. You know, take notes. You got young kids. I'd be sitting up there in the booth, and somebody, boys and girls, would walk up there and be like, "Here's the songs that we would like played for our warm-ups." And it was the most filthy, vulgar, disgusting stuff that I wouldn't play it in private, let alone blaring it out over the speakers. And so I'm like, no, you bring me something that I can play in front of your grandma, and I'll play it. But I cannot play everything just explicit. You know, like there was no clean versions of it even. And like that's part of the problem is that the stuff they're listening to these days, you can't play anywhere.
And the stuff that everybody makes, like there's barely anything. Yeah.
But you can't understand the words anyway.
That's true, especially in gambling because the way that that's a fair statement.
Good story on that. When I was at Huntington. Like I was working the football gate, before and stuff. Of course, you talked to all the coaches and stuff, and they had one of the assistant coaches had his Spotify hooked up, his Bluetooth and stuff, and he had a clean football playlist. But for whatever reason, his unclean playlist started, and it was Effing Problems by 2 Chainz. Started playing. Yeah. But the funniest thing is Coach Swinson is like one of the players. He was like, "Oh yeah, Coach, this is my jam," and he started listening to it. He's like, "Cut that off!" That was a good warm up story there,
right? Listen, I know that's a me thing. Like we go places for football or whatever, and that's what they're playing, and I'm like, okay, I just,
But I also think it's the Henry County standard.
That's true.
Michelle Dr. Webb and Coach Summers wouldn't allow that either.
That's true.
And because we're not those people.
Well,
I will say you took me back to Thanksgiving Day whenever Creed played at the Dallas Cowboys stadium, and they're coming in on flying in from the rafters or whatever when you're playing
who doesn't
higher.
love higher as get you going, but. Listen, and two, what I was thinking, when you talk about Mariano Rivera and Enter Sandman, so I guess my question to y'all was, which is better, the Mariano Rivera entering to Enter Sandman, or Virginia Tech making their way onto the field to Enter Sandman? Which one would excite you more to see?
It does nothing for me at a college football atmosphere.
Really,
I appreciate obviously Tennessee or. Ohio State dots the I. I appreciate
originality and that kind of
way more in the college football atmosphere. I definitely do.
I agree. Listen, we go to Ole Miss and they kick into "I Saw the Light" because that's kind of, I don't know what the official theme song is for Ole Miss, but the underlying music for it is "I Saw the Light," and it gets you it gets you ready. For some football at Ole Miss.
I think Mariano Rivera has more championships than the entire University of Virginia Tech, so I would say him probably.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Well, guys, it's been an hour. I won't keep you out longer than what y'all have permission to be out and what I have permission to be out. So, appreciate y'all coming in. It's been a fun year. Hope to, for another year, we'll see. Just looking at some things and going to discuss some things and just see where we go from here. But again, appreciate all the support and the kind words. haven't had any unkind words yet, but I figure at some point they're coming too, but that's all right. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you guys for being here tonight. And always, you're always so gracious when I text you or call you like, hey, can you come on? And you're like, yeah, sure, sounds great. And there's a whole list of folks that are the same way. Like I said, Coach Summers always stops in. Renee Lassiter is always great to come on anytime that I ask her to. Dr. Greer has been on several times to talk about his stuff, and just appreciate the willingness of folks in the area to support Henry County youth. That's why I do it. Talked to last time we were on air, talking about Dan Patterson, and he's my inspiration for doing this stuff, and why I got into sports to begin with. And so I don't do this because I consider myself an expert or know anything about any of this stuff. I just enjoy talking about it, and I enjoy highlighting what's going on in Henry County. And I've had some people, like I said, they've just been over the top helpful, and I appreciate that more than anything. And so it's been a fun year. Look forward to more. And so we're join us next week. Got a rescheduled show. Hopefully, Ja'Kai Beard is supposed to be here with us next week. I say supposed to be here with us because that'll be next Sunday Night Live here in studio. Ja'Kai has been lighting it up here lately with some offers from football. And then, of course, he's a basketball player as well. Just as a sophomore, is one of the most exciting kids to watch on the field, whatever field it is. But he was supposed to be on a while ago, and he texted me and was like, hey, can I come on and do it later? I was like, well, how late are you? I'm still at Alabama. And I didn't realize, I thought he was down there visiting family. He was at Alabama at their spring practice or something not a visit, because I don't think as a sophomore, you probably know more about this than I do, but I don't think as a sophomore you're allowed to have official visits yet, as far as an official visit goes. But he was down, and that night he posted a picture of him and Kaylin DeBoer, and I was like, well, no wonder, So Ja'Kai is going to be in here next week to talk about, like I said, his offers and just being a two-sport athlete and everything that comes with that. But looking forward to that. And so be sure to join us next Sunday night, April 19th, live here from the Brewer Street Mafia Studios for that. Mike Weatherford show this week. Community Strong, 2 great events. On Memorial Day, you're going to have a service on the square with the Henry County Veterans Committee with Karen Triplett and Ann Smith. And then shop with a first responder with the McKenzie Police and Fire Chiefs, Ryan White and Brian Tucker, going to be on the Mike Weatherford show this week to talk about those events. That is Tuesday night, April 17th at 7 o'clock. Be sure to tune in for that. And then on the Tennessee Informer, what did they mean by the Constitution distorted? Special guest William Watkins Jr. will be on the Tennessee Informer this week to talk about the Independent Guide to the Constitution, his book that he has, and that is Monday night, April 13th at 7 o'clock. You can find that on the Tennessee Informer's page and on myparistv.com. And so, guys, again, appreciate y'all all very much for being in. I know it was just kind of a scattered night of randomness, but that's okay. That's some of my favorite conversations. I say that all the time. So thank y'all again. Appreciate you to Coach Poole, Coach Hight, to Will for being in. Always gracious to come in and be on. Thank you to Kenna for always being here with us as the co-host. And we will see y'all next week. Thank you to the Peddler. Thank you to TEC. Thank you to Eaton Construction, Nathan Eaton and his guys. Thank you to Kevin Keel and Scott Norwood in the back for keeping us on the air tonight. It is greatly appreciated, and couldn't do it without them. And so we're going to get out of here. Y'all have a good night. See you next week. And as always,
take care of yourselves and others.
See y'all next week, guys. Thanks. Bye.